Right?
Juvenile Acosta. I haven't read this. These are books that were just given to me tonight. So if you like book prizes, you come and give them to me and I give them. Poetry from November 2006. Albert Goldbarth, Richard Wilbur, and I haven't had a chance to look at this. Olive James is in here, and Stevie Wonder. No, only kidding. Then these two, brought by our host. The main feature. Yes, I'm getting mixed up here.
Let me put my glasses on so I can make this.
Maureen Niedecker, Homemade Poems, and then selected letters of Michael Rumaker, a quote on this cover, like a great armful of wild and wonderful flowers. So, great poetry here. And then these two little tiny books. Prescription by Daisy Zamora. See, it's very tiny. And then this is Epigrams by Ernesto Cardinal. So he's here in the city a little while now. So there you go. And of course, there's the mini feature, and then there's the
people that run the establishment.
keynote for next week. Those are also prizes. So we have a plethora of 4 prizes. And you say to yourself, well, how do I get one of those prizes? And my answer is always, well, when you sign up, you put your name next to a number, and at the end I have cards with numbers, and I shuffle the cards, and if your card is picked, then you come up and take one of those things. And if you're going to come next week, you can decide to be the keynote or the mini feature. And you'll see that in action tonight. What else is there? Tonight's theme. Yes.
Theme?
Yes.
Theme?
There's always the ongoing theme of an American flag. You can talk to that as much as you want. It won't talk back. It should, but it won't. The light condom is not on, so I'll have to fix that. And the amp is ready to go. So let me see if I can find the light condom, set that up, and we'll be ready to launch. Launch mode, as they say in France. Actually, they say other things in France.
It's a round thing. Oh, I get it now. Yeah. We don't have a glare on the camera. Ask Nancy what a light condom was. Even Nancy doesn't know.
I don't know. You should make me the next subject for the next night. And they'll probably have to take it off.
Yeah. What were you doing 2 weeks ago here?
He was doing a tap dance.
Yeah, Avachi was here.
All right, so that takes care of the prizes, the announcements, the light condom, eyeglasses. And before we get started, thank you. I would like to thank our hosts, Teddy and Fiona back there. So give them a round of applause. Actually, you could be here, but it wouldn't be the same.
Yeah.
So the light condom, tonight's theme. I would have you consider that when you're up here, you're saying what needs to be said, what you want to say, what you should say. It's a free speech, zone-ish kind of place where if someone's up there and they're reading, they may say what they like. Then they sit down and you get up and say what you might like. They expect people to listen to each other. That doesn't mean you agree, but you're just listening, okay? It's also important to realize that the truth comes out, your truth, the truth, a truth, and it's very important to keep track of that kind of thing. Yes, the hand over here.
What if you don't like anything? Can you still say that?
Yes, you can still say that. And here, let me say that now. That.
Please don't follow the crowd.
All right. So we're going to begin with Justice doing the keynote until the other keynote comes, and we'll take care of that when that happens. We'll bring her on after the speech ready here. Hey, kick off.
Don't follow the crowd. Don't follow the
Here we go.
This is by Billy Collins, who was a two-term United States Poet Laureate.
Don't follow the crowd.
Hey!
All right.
Thank you.
What's all that about?
I don't know, but I just want to point.
Okay.
Thank you.
This is called the Lanyard. The other day as I was ricocheting slowly off the blue walls of this room, bouncing from typewriter to piano, from bookshelf to an envelope lying on the floor. I found myself in the L section of the dictionary, where my eyes fell upon the word Lanyard. No cookie nibbled by a French novelist could send one more suddenly into the past. A past where I sat at a workbench at a camp by a deep Adirondack lake, learning how to breathe in plastic strips into a lanyard. A gift from my mother. I've never seen anyone use a lanyard, or wear one if that's what you did with them. But that did not keep me from crossing strand over strand again and again until I had made a boxy red and white lanyard for my mother. She gave me life and milk from her breast, and I gave her a lanyard. She nursed me in many a sick room, lifted teaspoons of medicine to my lips, set cold face cloths on my forehead, and let me out into the air night, and taught me to walk and swing, and I in turn presented her with a lanyard. Here are thousands of meals, she said, and here is clothing and a good education. And here's your lanyard, I replied, which I made with a little help from a counselor. Here is a breathing body and a beating heart, strong legs, bones and teeth, and 2 clear eyes to read the world, she whispered. And here, I said, is the lanyard I made at camp. And here, I wish to say to her now, is a smaller gift. Not the archaic truth that you can never repay your mother, but the rueful admission that when she took the 2-tone lanyard from my hands, I was as sure as a boy could be that this useless, worthless thing I wove out of boredom would be enough to make us even.
Wow. That's what I call a keynote. Get us started off on the right foot or the left foot, depending. All right, so let me read the next set of readers who are coming up. We have Cesar Love, Stephanie Manning, Edward McHugh, Nancy Wakeman, Jack Bellender, Owen Dunkel, and it looks like ANTHTL, something with an M, I'm not sure that, well, number 8. Then Bill, then me, then an open spot for Jimmy, then our feature for Bill Ford. So we will take care of Cesar Love coming up here now. We welcome him with open arms and ears.
I have just one poem. This is, if you ever come to Sacred Grounds at 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock, it's really interesting. It's totally different from what it's like at 7 o'clock. So I came here early a couple weeks ago and had that experience. So there we go. Before the reading, for Sacred Grounds, 2095 Hay Street. An hour before the poets, the sun arrives by peekaboo, dangling his chin below the awning. His horizontal light serving a quiet cafe. Tabletops glow like bowls of spilled gold. No napkin, no spoon. Below chairs, a jailbreak of shadows. Phantom couples bow thighs, abscond in a tango embrace. In the window, a rhapsody of plants. Quiet dragons perform in secret orchestra. The sun winks goodbye, our patron must depart, for he has other latitudes and other gardens to bless.
I always ask him to read more than he reads. Hey,
He knows how to.
he knows how to do it. He's a professional. Don't leave home without it.
You give them more, they get more.
He was
All
saying
right.
people are ignoring him.
Stephanie Manning, a well-known and well-respected member of the greater community of those whom we are a member of which we are a member of. Sorry, wrong proposition.
So So nice to see everybody here, Bill High, Mrs. Arn, Jenny Mankind, and everybody, Nancy Whiteman, and Ed White, you, and Adolf, you guys, and Bill.
What's that guy in the corner?
Everybody, the guy in the corner. Everybody, good to see you here. So this one's called Now. Preparing for a long voyage at sea, the men squabble like many birds in a tree at dusk in summer, debating whether it's the best time to leave or not. Risky, deciding to shove off. Bad weather, always a possibility. Rules. Fear drives many to inaction, but often wisdom does too. Hard to tell, and so stuck at home, they gaze at the horizon, unable to move until, sick of the situation, one bravely calls for action, calls with passion, with duende, and they all shout, "Here, here!" and put their shoulders hard against the rigging. Every man, woman, and child comes together, and with a great rage against the system, pushes off into the unknown with nothing but hope and each other. And I wrote that after I read about the boat people in the Mediterranean.
Wow.
Hundreds of people out there, abandoned. This is a letter to a wee fox that I saw from the train on the north side of the train yesterday, between Dixon and Suisun City, about Vacaville or so, in Sacramento Valley. It goes, "Dear little fox, how long you've searched for water here in the parched Great Central Valley of California, and now you've found some in a ditch beside a farm field where the railroad tracks cross near the town of Vacaville. So young and skinny, what a world you face, full of predators and scarcity out here in the farm fields, where rural businessmen don't mind shooting wildlife that comes close to their land. Be wary of humans, little fox. They have messed up the countryside, the earth, the air, the water, and some like to shoot wild creatures in an effort to tame the wild and develop the land. This is what you have to face in the future, little fox. May you grow to your full size and be strong and swift as your parents, and have many babies of your own someday. Learn all the good hiding places and fruit trees, and may the beauty of this scenery from the Vaca Hills to the giant Suisun Marsh and the Delta beyond it fill your soul. You're a part of this, little fox, just as much as this waterway and Mount Diablo are part of this lovely spot where land encounters the 17 rivers as they flow out through the straits to the greater San Pablo Bay. May you find all these wonderful spots before that time, when disaster follows disaster and sudden explosions become a daily occurrence. And then you will sit behind a rock alert, and your pointed nose and bright eyes will watch the future unfold. Stay strong, little fox, for these will have been the good old days when I wrote about the miraculous wonder of seeing you from my window as the train rushed past long ago.
Wonderful.
Okay, a couple of fast, speedy little ones. This is called Use Sparingly. A bright orange parasitic fungus is growing over the landscape along the shore. Not exactly a toxic contamination. It will kill the plant it lives on eventually. Like plastic orange fencing they unroll and drape against the bushes, it does not look natural. Nature handles orange carefully, as in nasturtiums and orange trees, California poppies and lichens, some sunrises and some sunsets, and not like orange lipstick and the Golden Gate Bridge. An easy color to do wrong, to grow filthy with time and neglect, but if done correctly and carefully, can be a spectacular display of light and pigment and hue, best left to the winds of the earth. And this is really quick. Did I finish writing this straight down? Oh, I did, okay. Pickleweed, marsh grass, high tidal action, North Bay water laps against the riprap, tracks curving left and right slow the train to contemplative speed. Napa and Sonoma across this wide pond, choppy waves today on the approach to Point Pinole. Gangsters cut Gangsters cut through the pickleweed. Gangsters cut through the pickleweed. Gangster sloughs where water sloshes in to form waterways. The gangsters everywhere, brackish, selfish, sloshing out with moon or pressure. Lazy sloughs, foolish, flow. You gotta have marshland. You gotta have marshland for the ecosystem. Flues and flows through mud flats and sandy bluffs. Give me sandy bluffs, you fools, foolish, flimsy, flim-flam. Give me that. Ya tata, cool man, cool now. Only for the earth, only for the earth, only for the earth.
Thank you, Stephanie.
Oh, yeah, I love that song.
Yeah.
Our keynote has arrived, so she's going to come up there and do her poem and then come back for the open and do something one of her. She was new to us last week. She is not new to us now. Say hello to, give her a round for Doris Rubio.
This is a poem by Sylvia Plath. I shut my eyes and all the world drops dead. I lift my lids and all is born again. I think I made you up inside my head. The stars go waltzing out in blue and red. An arbitrary blackness gallops in. I shut my eyes and all the world drops dead. I dreamed that you bewitched me into bed and sung me moonstruck, kissed me quite insane. I think I made you up inside my head. God topples from the sky, hell's fires fade, exit seraphim and Satan's men. I shut my eyes and all the world drops dead. I fancied you'd return the way you said, but I grow old and I forget your name. I think I made you up inside my head. I should have loved a thunderbird instead. At least when spring comes, they roar back again. I shut my eyes and all the world drops dead. I think I made you up inside my head. It was a bad old love song.
Oh, okay. I want to make sure I get it right also. Okay, and she's going to come back during the open because that's what the keynote is. All right. Edward, my cue, for goodness sakes, come on up here. And after my old sausage. I mean, heart, sorry.
There you go.
Say the wrong thing.
Bill is down from Sonoma, and so I grabbed my Sonoma suite and poems, and I think I'll read maybe 3 of them. One's called Cotati. A strange happening in a dirty playground knocked at my heart's door. Surface stripped off where I fretted, strained in pure cussedness, floating dizzy in the rain. Up from Roner Park seed farms, a wall of white aroma rode into the night air. It put a jest on me, pulling me up like an electric inclinator. Morning after the departure from those pale thin blooms, I could have wrung my duds out in that tough morning light, and then you gave me your crinkled eye smile. So I sang, I'm just a pebble, you made me a pearl. Satin blue skylining billowed behind still creamy clouds and opened my heart to swirl.
Nice. Very good.
It's hot today. This is from Adventures in Paradise. Adventures in Paradise, it's hot today. The horse races would be nice, and the grandstand will be shaded, quiet, cool. Several years ago, we'd had a rainy summer, and at the end of August, Richard drove us up from San Francisco north over the Golden Gate Bridge that's painted, well, dull orange past all those towns on Highway 101 through Marin County amid green hills that year, past Lucas Valley into Sonoma County, crossing the San Antonio River and Petaluma, for which Harry Parch, decades ago now, composed on the 7th day that petals fell in Petaluma, and where Richard Steger went to junior and senior high school, well, because Cotati, 8 miles north, had none then. And then we rose up with the road north from Denham Flats past Cotati, past Rodert Park, 9 more miles to Santa Rosa for the annual Sonoma County Fair, where this year, 1998, the theme was Adventure in Paradise. We ate, went to the horse races, to the Hall of Flowers with the Paradise theme show, and the volcano. Got ice cream squares dipped before us in hot chocolate and then rolled in peanut pieces on sticks in Grace Pavilion. Then bought a Ginza knife set. Went to judging of those earnest teen and preteen dairy goat raisers. Saw the llamas. A bright snake tent. A Midway. Spaghetti Palace. Tri-tip barbecue. Then back south on 101. And Richard drove us home.
Excellent.
There's a third one I'll read. Richard's life on the ranch, now under Highway 101. Life on the ranch was sweaty, ugly, and boring. Richard named his little goat Nubbins because of the wattles hanging down the sides of her face. Blackie was another goat, black and white. And he had a little steer, Richard did. He raised, who they called Pancho Pico, after a Latin wrestler, a contemporary of Gorgeous George, the king of the sport in 1950s TV. Irene and Dan Steger were Richard's parents. Dan worked days in Mare Island shipyards, pipe fitting subs. Irene handled the kids in the ranch, sold eggs, canned their food, ran to yank switches from the willow trees to thrash those wild kids when she could catch them.
What was wrong with that?
Now, the highway came through and took the ranch. The money went for the bills and a car, stuff the 4 kids needed. They rented an adobe-sided house from Mrs. Parker, who lived 2 empty lots over in that New England-style Victorian. The Catholic Church in Cotati, next to the freeway, stands on part of what used to be the ranch. John Peru, Irene's father, had it following World War II. Irene and Dan moved from Chicago and Downers Grove in 1949, and Richard must have been 6 then, and Philip, David, and Charmaine not even born. Richard had a dog named Mickey. You see her in a lot of the snapshots. I'll stop there because it's got another half a page. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Edward Matthew, always generous. Very good, very good, very good. So let me just read the next 4 or 5 that are coming up. We have Nancy Waitman, Jack Mellender, Owen Dunkel. It looks like ANTLPR, I'm not sure. The first initial M.
Yeah.
That's right, I'm not sure. Then Bill, then me, then Brielle, before Jimmy, before Bill. So give Nancy a round of applause as she makes her. Kick some metaphoric kicking. You thought I was going to say clap. I thought I was going to say that. Not D. I don't know.
Hey, I got a couple of poems tonight. The first one is First Breath of Spring. All winter long, great Mother Bear sleeps. One day, splinters of light enter her cave and won't go out. Every breeze brings a fresh smell, pungent but delicate. the rumbling earth begins to beat. Tree roots twist, ripping unexplored pathways through the earth. Great Mother Bear feels the hot hand of love on her back and shakes off her winter sleep, leaves the comfort of her cubs, the safety of her home, and lumbers through the forest, promises of spring hiding in her fur. It is the custom of her tribe to bring news of the green world to people who live in towns and cities and walk on concrete, to bring news of the planets to those who do not hear the songs of the stars. Great Mother Bear loves humans and their fickle hearts that swing open, shut, their useless claws, their tender feet. She smells the ancient fears hidden in their bodies and knows how they love their guns, how they believe they are brave. Great Mother Bear is courageous and clever. She pads through cities light as morning mist, silent as steam rising from a manhole cover. She ruffles the hairs on people's necks with her warm breath of love and opens their surprised eyes to the new light of spring. This one is possibilities. The sun is such a weaver of possibility each day. It has me bearing arms and toes and walking barefoot through the park. It wraps a warm quilt around me and shouts to me, "You are wonderful." Then the sun departs, promising everything. It wants to bind me to the sensuous world and demands that I find things to love. The pillow of my lover's chest, women with hips big enough to birth a whole world, summer girls with scuffed knees, boys who point, giggle, and sometimes spit, footsteps on the ceiling, voices in the bath, winter bears rustling fur to fur, rains that dribble, drizzle, and drip, fruit flies and water bugs in my kitchen, weeds that reach through cracked sidewalks like fingers, neighbors who sleep in doorways. The sun is such a taskmaster. I want love to travel with me, to hold my hand as I walk down my own road. Where does love want to go?
I got completely, I was totally lost. All right. Thank you, Nancy. Now we have Jack, then Owen, then the person with the first initial M, I can't read the last name, A-N-T-L something, then Bill E. Royel. Did I say that right?
Yes.
Nice growing. I can easily be wrong. So, give him a round of applause. I can't remember
This is called Hypothetical Prayer. That's my first poem here at the Sacred Ground. Hypothetical Prayer. That on this May 17th, 2015, the memory of that ineffable kind of karate maneuver in the Berkeley Police Department back room. On May 5th, 1973, shall forever cease its protracted run of random unbid occurrences to my thought stream, without, however, inducing some Freudian conscious subconscious split to further harrow the dream. This would be my prayer if there were yet some Pacific sex goddess of mirth, very beautiful indeed, just to see, more than just to see, be guiding the jaded scholar advancing her preferences to him so far from American. Answer to hypothetical prayer. We base maltreatment by our backroom cops searching innocence up against the wall and genetically modified sirloin call by the same two words, unconscionable chops. But mere seafood, city girls trying to disperse us, the kind who live even a rebel's curses.
is called to her. Now that my spirit's crushing weight you've lifted off in bed tonight, I feel you start to levitate this body too. I've grown so light. Yes, using just your deep dark eyes, you've made this matter flesh expand and actually then to rise. What wild wafts you're having planned? One more, it's called Still Rhyming. How could scientists be fiendisher to let each man be publisher to any group he may have planned of works of art by any hand that may appeal to ear or eye, while passing all their authors by as without rights to property? Darwinian one-upmanship and capitalistic avarice have jinxed all human fancy's trip. Full many a bard this must off piss. How can the fellow get a grip?
Jack Mounder, thank you. All right, so we have Owen Dunkel coming up next in a nice soft round. And then we have Mr. Ann, and Bill, and me, and Brielle, and Jimmy, then Robert Duvall and Henry Mancini doing their terpsichoreal with the lights out of it.
Is Friday and Teicher there tonight too?
They said that.
Can everybody hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Dull morning. Full now the noise of the jays far off to the moving view, listless incantations that are new and about themselves now and gaze about the the fall spewing. Amaze me the fountains still abide. Do as their due the wry hue and even the gash of the sunset rays. The silent spring, the furtive mind, the pendant sway to the steady insistence of the breeze that sinned in the garden of the night, and a ready turban that is left to shell is our answer. My mind a church bell. The wild day on the bus, the crowded bus that goes home to wayward the ocean, curves around Powell and tries to be irreverent, but are afraid for that will become the joy that clings itself to the wild windy Donna. Quiet spring, this ecstasy hidden in the earth of joy, of vast spring karma, our voices settled beneath the cloud we share to the most gracious and bending earth. That cannot say our Savior. Joy hidden around the care I have been forbidden to give the wonderful flames of passion. We scurry like wonderful madmen to devout whims, our way, our misunderstanding in excelsis. Our men leap and leap to cross the street to care. For her in metaphor, our verses have sworn to cherish. Post. Our men are leaping heroes, the social quantum conscience. They have wrapped our hearts around the great peace and stasis. Isis. Somebody's daughter in the garden botanical is a virgin to all, things mechanical. Lee. The nuns are leaving heaven on broomsticks of leftover air and the metaphors, yes, the elusive metaphors. They have tried great Caesar's bombast and broom-tailed flights to a world of trickery and false imagination. No, more false imagination than the world upon its trivia of plenty. Hey, mother, 20 beats, mind and bride is tasting
Mine the lasting desire sneaking for more I can get away with from a world that pretends to be witty, wise, inspiring the right sentences to be. Two epistles. The new stillness of a still hot day, the poor stillness that has forgotten all the men who overtook us, reminds one of Oscar Wilde. The born moth still unguised to his forgotten symmetry. This day I am a sullen, sleepy-eyed, torpor angel. This wonderful hot day I never hope to outgrow, as though I have buzzed upon a ride of summer that was meant really for me. Your way, Whitman, lower the buckwheat, yet the ye saying make space he has promised. Well, Whitman has promised, he has promised, and prance, the song of himself, eyes of himself, oh, the barns, the treetops, the farms, the fields, seminary ridge, our starry sky, the wounded, the needy, the wounded, the needy. And Emily, yes, sweet Emily, kneeling on sand, her beautiful face sat in her very eternal prayer to the sky faith of exotic rain waving and luring all mankind back to eternity.